Jimmie Johnson.
I'll take this lead in every time, guys. I appreciate it.
How you feeling, my friend?
I'm good, man. Doing well.
All right, you have an 8-part original docu-series, goes behind the scenes. Complex Networks teamed up with great filmmaker Peter Berg. How did you feel making Road to Race Day? Did you feel like a Kardashian while you were doing this? And it premieres July 19th. Where can we see it?
You know, it was far more than just the time they spent with me. So I drive at Hendrick Motorsports, and we have a 4-car operation with Chase Elliott, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Casey Kane, and myself. And then at Hendrick Motorsports, we have over 660 employees, departments like you wouldn't believe. And Mr. Hendrick had this idea to really show behind the scenes. Let us capture the footage, and then let us work on the editing with Peter and his group after that, and really show a level behind the scenes that's never been done before. So the docu-series goes through a variety of races, a variety of experiences with the different team members, the different drivers on the team, and you get to see far more than anything else. It's kind of scary, honestly, when I've seen my pieces. I remember cameras being there, but I wasn't sure some of that would make it to TV, and damn if it has.
Are you happy with the series? Are you happy with the way it turned out?
Yeah, I totally am. I feel that, you know, that raw emotion, the behind-the-scenes look and what really goes into our sport. Not only, I heard you lead in earlier, not only am I an athlete, but you would be surprised how many athletes that are on our road crew team, that mechanic on the race car, that jump over the wall and service the car on the pit stops, and the culture that exists behind the scenes. Our athletic facility, our coaching staff, our engineering aspect, the engine department, the composite department, the chassis department. I mean, it just goes on and on. It's a nice look behind the scenes of what it takes to be a competitive team in NASCAR, and I think it'll blow everybody's mind.
Well, Jimmie, I know you're an athlete. You're a great athlete. You're one of the best that's ever done it, and you're a 7-time champion. That's not even more than LeBron. It's more than Jordan. And you guys put your life on the line every single time you go in the car. Within the last few years, you've had a couple of teammates retire. Jeff Gordon, 2 years ago, and Dale Jr. announced that this is his last season. Where are you at with the rest of your career? Have you thought about retirement?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm closer to it than I realized. I mean, I just signed a 3-year extension with Hendrick Motorsports, and you know, we'll be around for at least 3 more. I feel like I'm doing a decent job of balancing personal life and professional life. And more than anything, the fire still burns to compete, to be out there racing, to be out there winning races and competing for championships. So I've at least got 3 more in me. But, yeah, I'm all of a sudden the elder statesman at Hendrick Motorsports.
Did you ever think that you would be the older guy?
I guess everybody knows it's coming. You just when that reality hits you in the face, you're like, oh, wow, it's now. Like, I haven't seen it coming. Then all of a sudden, boom, there it is.
You know, NASCAR, one of the things that's crazy that I saw in the series Road to Race Day is NASCAR, unlike any other sport, you guys are signing autographs with fans in the garages. That would be like at halftime of a Dallas Cowboys game. The locker room is filled, or in a practice field. Did you like the interaction with fans? Are you able to concentrate? Does it freak you out? And are you guys concerned about running over a fan?
You know, it honestly is one of the toughest parts of the job. We have such a condensed period of time to work with our teams, to practice on track, to be in that garage area. And unfortunately, that's really the only time the fans have a chance to see us, get an autograph, and interact. So with that said, there are many times over the course of a weekend that it pulls on me, and I'm like, man, I wish that energy exchange was a heck of a lot better, but I've got 3 minutes to run from the transport to the car to get buckled in. Practice is going to start just in an engineering meeting. You know, then when practice is over, we've got, in some cases, 20 minutes to get the car turned around and in line for technical inspection for qualifying. So every second counts. I've got to run literally back to the transporter, debrief with the engineers, make decisions. And as I'm in transit, you know, there's a couple hundred fans that are just excited to see you and want an autograph, but you can't, you know. And so that really does pull on me probably more than any other aspect of the job. I think the true, you know, fans get it, but it's inevitable. I do notice that it probably does hurt some feelings along the way.
Now, listen, I was teasing earlier. There's always an ongoing debate about if NASCAR drivers are athletes. know I drive in Los Angeles traffic with one hand on the wheel, another hand on a cheeseburger, but you're the real deal. And I heard you train hard. I saw it on Road to Race Day. You work out. You're a triathlete. You run marathons. You run up mountains. You run down mountains. How does all of that endurance training help you in the car? Explain that to me, because for the cynics, and I am cynical, but I do it with respect. What is it like to be in the car, and why do you train so hard? I mean, you're a legitimate, Iron Man outside of the car.
Well, I mean, I think as you get older, you appreciate the situation you're in. You want to maximize your opportunity. And when my early years of getting started, my training was much less. I suffered on Monday, Tuesday, just trying to recover and get back in the swing of things. So as I've evolved as an individual and within my sport, now the easiest thing I do all week is my race on Sunday. My training is far more intense. So Monday, man, I pop out of bed and I'm ready to start training and rolling again. And then that's led to more knowledge on nutrition, hydration, recovery, rest, the whole gamut that goes into being an athlete. So, I feel like, there's some guys getting away with a lot less, but, if you want to come race with me and try to challenge me for 7 championships, I think I've kind of set the bar and how you need to go about that.
I like that. I like the cockiness. Okay, Jimmie Johnson, because I'm cocky and I appreciate the cockiness. Now, when you mentioned earlier, you just said after Monday and Tuesdays, after races, it was hard to recover. When you're racing, take me inside the car. Recover from what? What besides, because it seems so mental. It seems so about the mental. Physically, what is the toll that a race takes on you? What is the toll that a NASCAR race takes on you if you're not in shape?
Sure. So for starters, we withstand 3 Gs in the corners.
Which means what? Explain it to a half of a disabled reading person like myself.
Sure. So that's 3 times your body weight, 3 times the vehicle weight. 3 Gs. So you go into a turn and it slams you into the seat. So your arms are up. It's a lot of strain on your shoulders. Your core is a very big part of that, and then also your legs, trying to hold your legs and manipulate the pedals and work on all of that. The heat in the car is a huge factor. As time's gone on and the engineers learn how to make the cars more efficient, we are sealing the cars off so that air doesn't get under them, and that just makes an oven where I sit. So we're seeing 130-degree cockpit temps regularly. NASCAR has picked up on this, and the television folks have, and they're putting thermometers in cars all the time now to show that. So,
wow.
You roll that into a 4-hour routine. I post all of my racing adventures and cycling stuff on an app called Strava, and I'd like to post my heart rate, and you'd be surprised to see that, I'm sitting there, upper aerobic, lower anaerobic heart rate for a 4-hour window driving the race car. So, I mean, it's legit work in there.
All right, so a cynic like myself, if I handed you the keys to the running NASCAR, okay, not that I have any juice in this community, but if I handed you the keys to running it, to bring in new fans, what changes would you make to the sport to attract new fans without alienating the hardcore, fans of NASCAR?
That's the tricky question. I mean,
would you say that was a great question, Jimmie? Honestly, would you say, wow, Michael Rappaport just threw me a great question?
You crushed it, man.
Thank you.
Is a great question.
I appreciate that.
There's not one answer. It not only has our sport evolved, and we're trying to keep up, like many sports are, with their viewing audience. Society has changed. The way people consume anything has changed. I learned a phrase recently called the cable cutters, and that's people that don't use a television any longer, so they don't have cable TV or satellite TV, and they strictly download all their content, look at their news through social, and they're completely disconnected. Well, that unfortunately hurts sports. It hurts a lot of things. ESPN's having its troubles. The market is changing. The only thing that's been holding somewhat steady has been the NFL. Live sports in general is hanging on, but regular programming for television is in the tank. Sports is trending down in general. So it's a tough world out there. I don't know what the secret ingredient is. And I'm watching my sport and my team and sponsors, and everybody's just trying to figure it out.
All right, well, Jimmie, I appreciate it. If you haven't seen Road to Race Day, you should check it out. It's in-depth. You might as well say it's like the Hard Knocks or 24/7 of NASCAR. They had the best of the best, Jimmie Johnson. You could catch it on Go 90. I appreciate you taking the time, Jimmie. I hope you didn't take me seriously. I know you're not just an athlete. You're one of the best to ever do it. I appreciate you calling into the Rich Eisen show, and I appreciate the compliments that I didn't lead you on to saying how great my questions were.
No, I appreciate it, and this was the best interview I've ever had in the history of interviews.
Jesus. Can we make sure that's recorded so we play that for the rest of the people?
Yeah, I think we got that clip. Thanks.
Jimmie, thank you for taking the time. I sincerely appreciate it, my friend.
Appreciate it, man. Be well.
Did you hear what he said?
He said it was the greatest question in the history of questions.
And he said it was the best. This guy gets interviewed every single...
the best interview. You did it.
The Rich Eisen Show. Weekdays at noon Eastern on radio stations across the country and audience.
Isn't it amazing you can download an app with your thumbprint? You should download our app with your thumbprint.